All right, this is the video for testbed exercise 5, which is on programming with the optical sensor. The optical sensor is the only all black sensor that we have. The other sensors are all red and gray. This one is a newer sensor which came with the V5 brain, and so it is all black. So that's how you'll know which one it is. We don't have enough for everyone to have their own. So when you are done with this assignment, make sure you take your optical sensor and put it back in the bucket inside the gray cabinet. All right, so the assignment's right here, V5 testbed exercise 5. And it's kind of long, but we've also been working on this for a while, so we should be able to accomplish all these steps. So you can see here, number 1, when the optical sensor detects an object, it prints on the screen, meaning the screen of the brain, object found using purple text on a yellow background, and starts motor 1 for 3 seconds, and then it stops. Then you're going to wait for the limit switch to be pressed to clear the text. When the optical sensor detects a red object, it prints on the screen red object found in red text on a white background, and starts motor 2 for 3 seconds, then it stops. As a hint, the little cups in your organizers work well for the red object if you don't have anything else. And then number 4, wait for the bump switch to be pressed and clear the screen, which will then end the program. Okay, so a lot of steps here. So obviously steps 1 and 3, those are new, using the optical sensor. Step 2 is the limit switch. If you don't remember how to do that, you'll have to look back at the video for V5 testbed exercise 3. And then step 4, using the bump switch. If you don't remember how to do that, you'll have to look back at the video for V5 testbed exercise 2. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. When the optical sensor detects an object, it prints on the screen object found using purple text on a yellow background and starts motor 1 for 3 seconds, then it stops. Okay, a lot to do there. So on your V5 programming, the first thing you're going to need to do is add the devices. So I'm going to quickly delete these. Okay, so I've already put in motor 1 and 2. You should know how to do that. To put in the optical sensor, it is right here. The eyeball says optical. You should plug that into port number 3. And then you should already know how to plug in, how and where to plug in the limit switch and the bump switch. I'm going to go ahead and put those in real quick. The limit switch is in C, and nope, that's not right. The limit switch is in B, and the bump switch should be in A. Okay. Now, when you're using the optical sensor, there's a little light that the optical sensor can turn on to help it to see objects more clearly. So we'll want to do that first. So the very first thing you need to do is turn that light on. So we need to go to the sensing section and then scroll down and find the optical sensing here. Okay, and we want to set the light on. And we're going to go ahead and set the power to 100%. Okay. So the next thing you're going to need to do is have the optical sensor wait until an object is found. All right, so to find the wait command, we will go here to the control section is what I clicked on. Should know where that's at. And then we know we need the hexagon with the pointy ends here. Will fit into that. So if we go back here to sensing, we can find here it is. Optical sensor found an object. So now the robot will wait until it finds an object. So it won't do anything until it finds an object. And for this first part, you can simply put your hand over the optical sensor. That'll work for an object. Or you can use a piece of paper or something else if you want to for your object. But it's got to go over the top of the optical sensor. You don't have to necessarily touch it, but it does have to be, you know, within a couple inches. When I was experimenting with it, you needed to be like about 2 inches or closer. Okay, so what comes next on our assignment? It's going to print on the screen object found using purple text with a yellow background. So next what we're going to need to do is set the text color. So I'm going to click on purple and find set pen color. And it was supposed to be purple. And we want it to print on the brain, so we're just going to leave that as brain. And then it said yellow background, so that would be fill color. And we're going to set that to yellow. And then we're going to go ahead and print. And it's supposed to print object found, so we're going to click here and put in object found. All right, so let's look back at the assignment here. When the optical sensor detects an object, so we've got that, it's going to, right here, wait until an object is found. Should print object found, using purple text on a yellow background, pen color purple, fill color yellow, and start motor 1 for 3 seconds, and then stop. So we're going to go up to motion, spin motor 1, wait 3 seconds, back to motion, stop motor. All right, so this should be step number 1 here. It's going to wait for the object to be found, set the pen color, set the fill color, print object found on the screen, spin the motor, wait 3 seconds, stop the motor. So I'm going to go ahead and download that to my brain and check it on my check it here. So I'm going to click run on my screen. It's not doing anything. Cover the optical sensor. I don't know if you can hear it, but the motor ran for 3 seconds. Obviously you can't see the brain, but it said in purple, object found with a yellow background. So everything worked exactly right. We got step 1 done. Okay, step 2, wait for the limit switch to be pressed and clear the text. So you should know to use the limit switch. We're going to use this one right here. And then, as we know, we need to add an additional weight, or no, that's not the right weight. We want an additional weight here because it tends to go really fast when using the limit and the bump switch. I like to use 0.5. That seems to be a good amount of time there. All right, now wait until the limit switch is pressed. So we're going to go back to sensing, find limit switch pressed, put that in there. And then we need to go scroll down to, no, sorry, we need to go up to purple. And it's supposed to clear all the rows on the brain, clear all the text off. All right, so if I download this, oops, I didn't want to save that. All right, I'm going to click run. It's not doing anything. Put my hand over it. It ran the motor. Printed object found. Now I'm going to press the limit switch here. Oh, I had my limit switch plugged into the wrong port. Make sure you plug your limit switch into the right port. And it cleared off my text. Perfect. Did exactly what I was looking for. I know you can't see the brain. I don't have any way of doing a combined video, so you'll just have to trust me that it cleared off the text on my brain. All right, so looking here, step 3, when the optical sensor detects a red object. All right, we haven't covered that yet. So what you'll need to do for that is find the wait until, and then sensing, this one right here, optical detects red. Mine's already on red, so I don't even need to change it. All right, now the rest of it you should be able to figure out based on what we did in step 1. Print red object found using red text on a white background. Start motor 2 for 3 seconds and then stop. You should already know how to do that. Wait for the bump switch to be pressed to clear the screen. We've already covered that. Well, small detail here. I don't like that it says clear text there and clear screen here. So I'm going to edit this real quick and change this to screen. Tiny detail, but that bothered me. And then also turn the optical sensor light off. All right. So now wait for the bump switch to be pressed. You already know how to do that. Clear the screen. You know how to do that. Turn the optical sensor light off is pretty easy. It's this block right here would go down there, and you would just change this to off to turn it off. So the rest of these steps you should already know how to do. So you can go ahead and make sure that you get all 4 steps completed, and then when they're done, you can raise your hand, let Mr. Reese know, and he will come by and check your work.